Itchy.
Itchy elbow.
What does that mean? You know how like an itchy hand means something. So,
Itchy feet.
welcome back. This is chapter 3 of today's episode. Dwayne's making halwa because we can. Dwayne makes something every day. Dwayne really loves to eat fresh. Yeah. I mean, we have the luxury of time.
We do.
But even if we don't, the only thing he concedes is if he has to make rice in the microwave. You know, it makes at first. I know he would be like, I can't believe I'm doing this, but it cuts time. We were talking about chapter 3, but I'm actually going to film Dwayne making some halwa, my darling. So let me see. I don't want to use Bixby. Why does Samsung want this Bixby? Okay, all right. So. Oh, I missed the semolina pour. That's what we went out to get. We went out to get semolina, and then you've refilled this thing that we used. But yeah,
some almonds.
Almonds. So you collect all these jars. You use all these jars, and so Dwayne makes all these chutneys and spices and stuff like that, and also probably gonna go build some building and construct a website. I don't know. You're so amazing. What you do. Look, the tools of the trade, and this is
empty.
This is an integral part, but not in the way you think. It's really amusing because my mother used to use empty wine bottles to she filled it with hot water and she used to massage her poor broken parts of her body. And everyone, the kids my stepchildren used to find that really amusing because, and then they think, why is Nan carrying around a wine bottle? Oh dear. My mom just used it to massage herself and she said it was easier. So. All right. So, so halwa. Dwayne's making halwa. And Dwayne's just recently learned to make halwa. Because I felt like eating halwa, and Dwayne, anything I feel like eating from my childhood, you seem to resurrect every single taste. Every single taste.
Well,
it's
I've
wonderful.
tasted most of them, so most of what you tasted.
And
so it's easy to make, but then sometimes I've never tasted some of the things.
Yeah. So we use lactose-free milk, and I've got to talk about that actually as well because I've got that. I've told a lot of people about lactose-free milk, and then they try it, and everything makes sense to them because milk is not good for bodies. Certainly not for people of the global majority, and certainly not for adults. I don't think it's a fallacy that milk gives all this calcium bullshit. Anyway. So, darling, the one thing we didn't finish talking about was consistency.
Yes.
If it's consistency that is the thing that gets us fame, gets people fame. And look, if you have watched chapter 2, then you'll know, or you should watch chapter 2. It's not consistency that gets fame. It's talent. Well, from the old school days. Sorry, everything is going up and down. I don't want to miss all the action here that my husband's doing. So sorry about this. There we go.
So cardamom.
Crushed cardamom. And that's going to smell so good.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Where is it? There it is. Delicious. So consistency, right? Because we said, look, let's just do this. I don't really care who watches. I don't. It doesn't matter to me if it's just I want to do this. I am going to cut to the chase and not write the articles and the episodes. I mean, I will, of course, we still write the articles and record the podcast, but we're also going to just record lives of our days and all the things we talk about and do, etc., etc. So we went for a walk today to get some some ingredients for the halwa today that you're making, my love, and also some flowers, which are just absolutely stunning. So if you've watched, I'm just going to be a moment, sweetheart. I'm just going to go and. Would you like to come and see the flowers? You should come and see the flowers, all right? Because the flowers look amazing. So if you've seen chapter 2 earlier today, let me see the flowers. Let me show you. Sorry about the sudden change in angle. But yeah, the flowers. This is all from the neighborhood. And Dwayne actually filmed me putting them together because decided we're just going to show people the simple joys of life. Beauty. Beauty is not material. Beauty is not based on money. Beauty is not, and happiness isn't based on what you're going to get. Happiness is based in the now. And you've got to find your capacity to find joy in everything and beauty. And I love this. I love that we can just get these beautiful, beautiful flowers from our neighborhood with permission, of course, and not in such a way as to steal other people of the joy of seeing the flowers. So don't take all the flowers. And actually don't take any flowers, really, because I know what I'm doing. That's not what I mean. But anyway, I'm turning the angle again.
Crushing the cardamom.
Ooh, my darling, it's crushing the cardamom. The aroma, look, really, the aroma is next level. So, yeah, consistency we were talking about. Like, what is it? Do we have to do this consistently? And so we talked a lot about that. And I said, look, it's in my era. No, it was talent, but that was based on privilege.
Yeah.
That's why only the privileged people got seen, because it takes a lot to get to a point of being seen. But it's changed now, because tell me again what you had. Said sorry. And this bruises.
Oh, it's fine. It's okay. It's kind of nice with the glass against the underside of it.
Right. Oh, good. Yeah. It's okay. Fine. So yes, so you were saying that your idea of consistency is continue to do, continue to show, continue to do, and I say no. Mm-hmm. And I say no, as you said in chapter 2. You said, well, I have been privy to 2 eras idea of consistency and fame.
The road to fame. Yeah.
The road to fame. So consistency is the road to fame, is what people think. Sure, but it's consistency of self and excellence of self. It's the consistency of quality, not quantity, because all that is happening now. And that's what I did not actually explain. Ooh, yummy. What I didn't explain properly so this is, by the way, before I continue explaining, this is the halwa, and this is the what's happening. This is Dwayne's but this is halwa. So going back to consistency. So now everyone thinks consistency. So that's how they're going to get known, because of the amount of work that they show everybody. And sure, so this is why now I've realized, okay, I can't just produce one thing a week or one thing a month and then expect to be, that's privilege. That's privilege. It's only when you get to a position of privilege. But even like, say, people like, take for instance actors who are at the top of the game, right? They still have to do the red carpet whoring. Sorry, how awful. I'd rather, after all that work, I just want to be home. And they've got to, as soon as the movie's out, they've got to start flying all over the world, etc., etc. Like, they're doing us a favor. You're not doing us a favor. You're basically begging us to go spend our money. And so that's why they have to do it, because they've got to show that so the consistency of being seen. Yeah. So that's the mentality now of this world. It's not just talent. It has to be how much you show your talent. So this is why artists, particularly white women, young white women, on Instagram, they show themselves as the art, creating the art, because it's no longer about the art, it's about the person creating it. And I can't say it's an artist, because Instagram in particular has leveled the field. Did you just eat that? There's butter. Dwayne uses real butter. We both really love butter, and butter is actually good for you, because fat's not the problem. Sugar is the problem, not fat. You need fat for your brain, so maybe that explains a lot about.
So I'm using butter because we don't have ghee.
Okay, but that's really okay, because you used olive oil to make roti.
Yeah,
and that was okay, that was okay.
Ghee is clarified butter, so.
Sure. Absolutely. All right. So as I was saying about consistency, so now people are just take for instance Instagram, right? I'm just going to turn this camera to me.
Yep.
Take for instance Instagram. Well, all that's happening with that is that people are constantly posting, and now people require absolutely. So you've got to prove. So you've got to put everything into creating your thing. So if you're a movie maker, you've got to put all your money and go work as whatever, and so that you can fund your actual work, and then you've got to put it all together yourself, and with in the hope that someone sees it, and you continue to do so. The more you output, the more people will see it, and the more then perhaps you'll get famous. Actually, all that's happening, and this is what you said blew you away, right? Is that we're just creating content.
Yeah.
We're just being kept busy creating content to keep the world turning.
And now AI is sampling our work. So
That's
we're
right.
actually creating content for AI to sample.
That's right. So it's, we've done ourselves a huge disservice. And also now, what is it? What is it I'm saying? That I'm sorry. I tend to lose my threads if I start reading comments. So I'm not going to read any comments, etc. Please, because also I can't react to comments because the videos when we save it, they're not left. The comments aren't there. So all that it looks like is I've just randomly turned my head like this, both Dwayne and I.
Regulation. Yeah.
And then So what's that? What was I saying? Isn't that a pain? Content creation, regurgitation. Yes. So, but we've got to constantly make content to prove we're worth it, which is weird because in my time, you have to prove you're worth it through quality of work. So that could be one good thing that is so excellent it benefits everybody. You can't just benefit the one person who's doing it. It's got to benefit everybody. So good, which is much better than say having 16 years of something. Just because longevity doesn't prove anything, as we talked about in the previous one. So with consistency, what I meant by that, my darling, is that we're just all creating free content to keep the capitalist wheel turning.
Yeah.
And so from there, people then go, and because we keep the algorithm turning with the stupid trending audio and stuff like, the hashtags and stuff, which I don't use, and I try not to use trending audio, etc. I've seen it doesn't work. I needed to use it to test what's happening. It works for the first 2 people. First 10 people or first percentage. After that, you're just keeping it churning while the people are actually onto something else. The actual people who get to do these decisions, the creators who get picked by the algorithm of the Eurostream dominant society. So, look, all this hustling, and I'm just seeing all this, and so Instagram now helps the talentless creators, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I mean that the people who don't. AI helps people who don't have those talents put that stuff together, which is going to cause a problem later, but not in the way you think, because AI will then help actual people with those creative talents, and they're still going to be ahead of the game. If I'm a photographer, Dwayne's a painter and artist, my profession was supposed to obliterate his, and it didn't. It actually made his a bit more special. And then photography had to become an art. And so I'm a photo artist. Oh, so let's just see what's happening with the Halwa.
Oil. Butter.
Into the butter. Mm-hmm. So we have to do that, but I'm actually enjoying it because, I don't stop talking, so might as well just record it, right?
Yeah,
might as well just entertain everybody and include all our things that we do. This is our everyday life. This is what actually happens.
Smell the butter and cardamom.
Okay, come and smell with me. This is unfair to people, really. It's really unfair. So this is what we're talking about. The next step in technology is to actually get aromas. And the way we can do it is we can say, look, go find the aromas of cardamom, of clove, of butter, of cooked butter, and then smell it when we tell you.
Yeah.
So smell cardamom now. And that's a way to get you, an interactive thing. So you can join our cooking sessions But this is our life. This is what we do. And I thought, might as well just do this, because I am aiming for, broadcast empire. Why not? Aim high, aim big, throw the net out big, wide, and you never know. Anyway, so it's not consistency. But it is. In this world, you have to have consistency. In this world, you absolutely have to have consistency, because that's how you get judged. But for instance, for a while there, I thought that with this wonderful clarity I have, I can, I might see if I can work for some other people. I might apply for other jobs, right? Apply for jobs elsewhere, outside of anything I do. Because I haven't worked for anyone for a very long time. I've always, laundry in the background's a bit laundry is my domain, and
it needs to be laundered.
Shush! And I haven't, because I've just dumped a few things in there, because we've had shoots, and we've had all sorts of things, and boxes and things like that. We've got a lot of things happening, blah, blah. So, anyway, where was I? I digress. Standard. So, I thought, yes, consistency, to show the excellence and quality, and show you things we do, show you our life. Because I'm sick of fakery, I'm sick of editing. So this is not editing, this is it, right? This is how you see it. But consistency is about quality. As I said, you can bring a magazine out every month, but if it's shit, now though, just because people have consistency gets them numbers, right? But I'm not seeing anything different. I'm not seeing any good, purposeful content. Unfortunately, even people with purposeful content have to constantly post, constantly be consistent in their quantity, so that their quality can be seen. And I admire that, because I'm a little bit lazy. And that's why AI is needed, because who the hell wants to do all that shit? Unfortunately, it's putting social media managers out of work, but unfortunately, you also created this stuff yourself, because whatever. All this, as I said in chapter 2, all this stuff we did, not me, all those filters that everybody used. Oh my gosh, you have to see that bird. And you've got to see what's happening out there. Look, it's the moon. It is the moon. And I have to talk to you about what's happening with the moon, because August is very, very special. Look at that. Beautiful. We're about to have what is called, okay, so the kitchen window was a bit dirty. I'm sorry about that. But that's from the outside, because, Dwayne hasn't hung out the building. Well, that's what you do, darling. And look, there's a cockatoo. Oh, how lovely. How lovely. How absolutely lovely. Anyway, so.
Well, next time I clean it, we can do a live.
No, oh my God, no, we're freaking out. Yes, lives of our days. Everything. So now there's a lot of, there's so many more people have access. What privilege kept filtered right before, now everyone has access to the platforms that can make people famous. But they don't get people rich. They make people now are supposed to get famous. So before, what happened was the consistency of quality got you seen by the industry insiders who went, hey, this person's got something. Let's bring them up or scoop them up or whatever. And then that's when you became famous, when someone invested in you. So you were then able to become famous from a platform of safety. People already think. People have seen you. So it's great. Great. They're looking after all the hard things, the logistics. Sorry, I was unwell, and so I've got a cortisol. I had adrenal fatigue, so I've got a rash that covers all, my senses. So here, and I used to have a terrible rash that covered my body. I'll talk to you about that later. Consistency! So, and my darling is stirring consistently in there.
Just making sure it doesn't burn. But it's also nice to get it a bit brown. So.
Darling, I love your voice. I don't know what you said. I don't know what you're doing. I was just listening to your voice. It's just so sexy. Anyway, consistency. It's about quality. It's about excellence of quality. So before it was privilege, and now everyone has access to these platforms. But instead of excellence and quality and some reserve, now we're just seeing everyone's asses. And everyone just wants to show you, I don't know. Everyone wants to make everyone envious, I think. I think that's what everybody wants. As long as everyone's got more numbers and everyone's seen as having more fun than you, and everyone's like, hashtag, bless life, whatever. So I don't work on that. I don't work on that premise. So consistency is about, now consistency is constantly being in everyone's face. So then they'll get like, okay, because there's so much information, right? There's so much information out there. So now it's about, okay, who's got my attention the most? It's not about who's the best. It's no longer about who's the best. That even the best creators get lost in this. What do we get lost in? The crowd. The crowd, which is it's really annoying. Oh, that moon is beautiful. I was telling you about the moon. So have I explained consistency enough, darling?
Yeah.
Were there any questions that because you were actually
because you did touch on content and everything. So.
Content, yeah, that content gets. It's not that content gets stolen, but content does get stolen and regurgitated, as Fiji Runway commented, because Fiji Runway's because like, we're media partners. I monitor the media quite for everything, if anything I am associated with. So I did see certain things like being regurgitated. Anyway, covers that were already done. Anyway, and we did, that happens to me all the time. It happens to you all the time, blatantly to you, because the people would pay you $50 and go make $500 a garment for the print you created. Anyway, we've got other things to do, so excuse me.
That's brown enough.
Oh, the semolina has got melanin. That's what we like.
Cool. And now I'm just going to add the milk.
Look, steamy. Excuse me, I have to clean the lens.
All the good stuff's in the bottom.
Ooh, that's what you put the cardamom in, huh? Mm-hmm. Ooh, yum yum. Yeah. Wonderful, darling. I do miss, I love filming you and watching you, and you love cooking on a gas stove. Mm-hmm. So we have electric stoves here, which is a bit annoying because we do miss. What are you doing? Sorry for all this shaky stuff. Yum! Oh my god, halwa! Yeah!
So yeah, I'll let you know when it gets a bit thicker.
Alright, my darling. And in the meantime...
Just gonna stir.
Okay. Hello. Me again. So consistency, that's what I was talking about. So it's similar to like what people do. So this is what I was saying. I had started applying for some jobs. I thought, okay, well, it'd be nice to see what people are like now, how people work, what the pay, range is now, and the workforce is like now. I haven't been employed by I haven't worked for an organization for a long time. In my 30s, so say 1999 onwards, I was 28 in 1999. So 1999 onwards, I was working as a freelancer, as a consultant for things, as a TV in Australia. I did a lot of television commercials for overseas productions because 1999 and 2000s, I was still considered, your face, not for our market. But I did so many ads for the United States, Canadian, Asian markets, India. I was the face of Hallmark channel. I did some incredible ads. We got paid really, really well. And I was also in just a glorified extra, but we were handpicked by the people. So I was in Star Wars, Attack of the Clones, and The Matrix. Is it Revolutions or Reloaded? Whatever, one of those two. Because I'm a sci-fi freak. And my agent at that time, who was my agent because she was amazing, she was the only multicultural agency at that time, Typecast Management. It was Linda Leftwich, a former model, gorgeous. Excuse me, but we had something more important things to do, like look at the halwa. Oof, plumping up. Oh, yum, look, it just ends up being this gorgeous... How do I describe it? I have to describe the texture when we're eating it.
Halwa. What other texture is it?
Well, it's not powdery, it's not coarse, it's not fluffy. This is not porridge. It's not going to be porridge. It's not soggy. It's dry, it's moist, it's... Look, we'll describe it later. Let's just go back to what I was saying, because I know I can't remember what I was saying. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So yeah, anyway, so I did all that, and then I was a rugby journalist, and I studied cosmetic chemistry. I was a skincare chemist because I started getting allergic to things. So that's what I done, and then in 2010 I started my media agency, and that's when I also went into professional photography, because I've always been into photography since I was a child, but professionally I started in 2010, and So in 2011, when I was 40, right? Yes, is when I became a professional photographer. And so prior to that, I was a rugby journalist and in commercials, etc., and a writer of all sorts of things, and all of the things. Oh, and a jewelry designer. Oh my gosh, I forgot that I was a jewelry designer for a while. I mean, I had my own jewelry thing. Not for a while. I still have all of these things. I did work for someone else as a jewelry designer because they asked me to come in because I could fix jewelry and make jewelry on the spot and things like that. I was mostly doing harnesses and things. Anyway, so I haven't. And then from when I opened my media agency, just photography and writing at that stage, I've just been phenomenally, well, for me, because success depends on what you view success to be. Whereas for me, it's not. I don't need to be J-Lo, hello. I'm happy with being Sun here. I don't need to hustle that hard for something that is, Oh, excuse me. I just have to do this. Wait a moment. So, my darling, you're going to give that to me to eat. Okay, all right. Well, I think I have to excuse the camera work, but I'm getting a little bit excited. So... I can't talk. Oh, that's so good. Jeez, darling, what is the rating for this show? Whoops.
Well, we're dropping F-bomb, so.
Whoops. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my God, darling, that is absolutely beautiful. Halwa. I'm being interviewed this afternoon, so Bryn's made this for the guests. Because, it's temple food, and we consider our home our temple, or a temple for us, certainly a sanctuary and an abode. The almonds, oh my God, darling, that is absolutely stunning. Okay, great. So we've done that. So we talked about consistency, right? And the content. So I just need to finish this quick story. So I haven't. That's why whatever. And then I thought I'd apply for jobs and sent my resume out and stuff, and it's really bad timing to do that actually, but I thought, okay, with my resume it would be great, and it's just like no one's, and then I'm finding out a few things, so I just started sending in bullshit resumes to everyone, because I don't want to work for people who expect you to, because this is what I started understanding. Before they even look at your resume, they don't give a shit about your resume. They look at your name, your ethnicity. I know, this is still happening. And then they have all asked this question. They all ask you questions at application level. It's no longer send in your whatever, or it's like, solve this for us.
Right, yeah.
Solve this. How would you do this marketing strategy? What would you do if this is How would you showcase a magazine, an art gallery thing? How would you coordinate this festival? How would you do the public relations? And I'm like, whoa, I'm not telling you my... Excuse me? And they don't pay for this, they just want free work. So everyone's now giving them all these amazing ideas, and then they send out, because this is the one. I was absolutely perfect for this. One job as communications manager for this wannabe showcasing. It's all optics. It's trendy thing. Anyway, I have created things, organizations, that. Anyway, doesn't matter. So I thought, okay, I had this one, right? So that's that one. This is the one I'm talking about. That's what made me realize, ooh, it's a very different thing. And now you're going, please, you're so arrogant. There's so many people. You have to say that you don't know my resume. I'm just saying, right? You don't know my resume. You have to say that.
Yeah.
So, and then it was like, and then now I have found out. They internal promotion. It was never really. It was just to get ideas.
Yeah, sure. A lot of people do that.
Yeah. It was just to get ideas. They actually promoted internally. And the 2 other jobs I applied for also said, thank you very much for your application. We've decided to move forward internally. I wish more people were honest about that. Like, don't fucking bother applying, just send in your answers because we're promoting internally. But if you're lucky, we may remember you, whoever wrote this might have some other idea, but still find that person. That's what happens. So we're all just giving our oppressors more content to keep this capitalist wheel running. Anyway, that's it for now, Tommy.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm sorry, I was just looking at something. So yes, that. And also, I have to apologize because in the Hibiscus Festival one, right, yesterday, you were telling the story about your father. He used to work for TNT, Post and Telecoms, and I got so excited about the floats. And you were describing something. So we were just talking very briefly about the Hibiscus Festival, which we had talked about yesterday while we were making gutta. I was reminiscing about Hibiscus Festival and all the wonderful, wonderful floats we used to have in the Hibiscus Float Parade on Saturdays. And Tip Top and TNT would always. I was trying to remember who, but all the big names, all the companies would, bring out floats and stuff. And your dad.
So I'm just gonna say that I remember going into his workplace some years. And they'd be working on their float. There's huge telephones they'd be building around trucks and cars and stuff. So, and they won a few times, but just so intricate. These floats were magnificent.
So creative, so fantastic. Seeing the floats was something. Can I just quickly add something about this too with the floats? Actually, I was responsible. My friend Neil, who is also a radio person and a major creative person, the guy we talked about who has. So if you don't, it's in Fiji, you should know Neil Foon. So we had a dance choreography company together, and of course we were all. And so we got the supers of the time. And for Sogo Fiji, I was the face of Sogo Fiji, which was at that stage. It's like the Maya, without the gadgets and stuff, but just the, clothing and things like that of Fiji, or equivalent, relatively equivalent. Yeah, what tapu and praz is now, but if people are not from Fiji and not listening, trying to explain what this is. But the equivalent now is tapus. What tapus is Sogo used to be before, and I was the face of Sogo. And so Sogo sponsored Sogo had a hibiscus queen, and then I decided we're going to have a live fashion parade. So 1, 2, 3, 4 of us, including Neil, 5 of us, we were all on the float as models, and we organized what it should be like. So it was supposed to look like a seabed, and they got one panel wrong, which is a little bit embarrassing. So I really want you
I saw a photo of that.
Yeah. Well, it's charming, but it's like, oh my gosh. And we just stood on the floats, and everyone was screaming out, my name and others' names, and I don't know. And like really excited it was really, really great. So I have this personal connection to that, because this wonderful float parade that is so much a part of my childhood and teenhood, and also Hibiscus Festival, so much a part of my media and my fashion career. And I'm pretty sure we've sung for something to do with Hibiscus. Ken Jansen probably did. So yeah, that's it. So anyway, that's us. We've got to go. I don't know what the time is, but I think I may have to start getting ready for my interview. And thank you very much for being with us today. Are we going to come back this evening, darling?
Yeah.
And finish up, maybe? For today's episode? And it's all live, it's unedited, because I'm too lazy now to do that stuff. It's still like, look, we're transparent. This is the life we lead. We talk like this together.
Yeah.
Although Dwayne does get to speak more. But really, this is Dwayne's an active listener that helps me expand and just sums everything up and says something or asks something that just sets me off again. It's just really great. And also, I really love watching Dwayne do anything. Sorry, if you're going to be a regular viewer of this, you have to understand I am nuts about my husband.
And I'm nuts about my wife.
So, all right, thanks for being with us. See you next time. Tomorrow, not today. See you next time on The Lives of Our Dudes.